Happy Sunday. I'm waiting on more people to come in before we get started. Before we get started on our live stream today, we're going to talk about the real reasons why your fibroids are not shrinking, okay? The real reasons why your fibroids are not shrinking. So if you have fibroids, I need you to stay tuned, and we're going to talk about what to do to get them to actually start shrinking, right? It's 2026. It's a new year, okay? I want to hear more and more women are free of fibroids this year, okay? Whether you're working with me or not, okay? So I think it's really important that we understand what's not gonna move the needle when it comes to getting rid of fibroids. And if I'm looking over here, I'm on YouTube as well as on TikTok, okay? So if you're coming in, put a one in the chat. Put a one in the chat if you're dealing with fibroids. Also as well, like the video, tap the like button, tap the screen to like so that we can get more women in here. If you're watching from YouTube, click that thumbs up button, okay? I hope that you guys are doing amazing. I hope that you guys are doing good. All right, so we're gonna go deep today on why your fibroids are not shrinking. So if you have fibroids, again, stay tuned. I'm not talking about castor oil packs, and I'm not talking about supplements, because that's not gonna that's not what we're doing. We're actually going deep, and we're actually getting to the real reasons why these fibroids are still present, okay? So if you are ready for some truth, put a one in the chat, all right? Put a one in the chat. YouTube, put a one in the chat if you're ready for some truth. And when it comes to fibroids, put a one in the chat. Thank you, Jessica, for liking the live. I hope that you're doing amazing. All right, hope that y'all are doing good. Put a one in the chat if you're ready, okay? For those that are, if you're watching me for the first time, I would love to know. Let me know in the chat as well if you're watching me for the first time. And I would love to know where you guys are watching me from, okay? Where are y'all at? Don't be shy. Don't be shy, all right? But for those that are watching me for the first time, hi and welcome. I'm happy that you're here. My name is Sasha. I'm a holistic womb specialist, and what I do is I help women dissolve their fibroids, shrink and dissolve their fibroids, okay? Naturally, and reverse chronic reproductive health conditions, all right? And we do that by targeting the root cause. Okay, you cannot heal anything without getting to the root cause of this, the issue. You can't heal any health issue unless you get to the root cause, unless you target the root cause, unless you target how they were created in the first place. You cannot expect surface level healing to help you. You can't expect a castor oil pack or a supplement to get rid of fibroids. You got to get to the root cause. You can't heal without doing that. I thought they had to be cut. Pineapple Crush, you're in for a lot of knowledge on this live. So be sure to stay tuned, because we're gonna talk about how you cutting your fibroids are actually contributing to them growing back. Okay? Fibroids, if you surgically remove them, they just grow back. A lot of you guys know, okay? A lot of you guys know. I hate the term girl. Call me Sasha. I'm a grown woman. But anyway, happy that you guys are here. Hey, YouTube. If you're watching from YouTube, put a thumbs up button. Click the thumbs up button so the algorithm can push this out to more women that are suffering with fibroids. All right, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Okay. Hey, hi, Heaven. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And you guys are, all right. I was asked earlier where you guys are watching from. Nobody said anything. Okay. It's just Sasha, okay? Not Sasha, okay? You have multiple, okay? You're in the right place, okay? You're in the right place. All right, so the reason why your fibroids are not shrinking, if you guys might want to, as a matter of fact, share this with somebody you know that has fibroids. If you're watching from YouTube, share this live. I know that you have at least 5 women that have at least 5 women in your family, in your friend circle, your co-workers, that have fibroids, okay? Whether you're watching me from YouTube or whether you're watching me from YouTube right here, or whether you're watching me from TikTok, share this live, all right? Share this live. And I'm also streaming live from YouTube in case you guys want to come over to YouTube, but also to make sure that you subscribe to my YouTube channel. The link is in my bio, okay? I have multiple, and I'm 42, and I still want kids. Please help me. Let's talk. We're going to talk about it. Don't worry. You guys are, okay. Meat and dairy causes fibroids. It's deeper than that, Sandy. It's deeper than that. We have to stop going, and you guys are going to learn in this live. When it comes to fibroids, people are very surface level. Those things contribute, but they don't cause fibroids on their own, okay? So let's talk about it. The number one silent fibroid feeder Okay, I'm gonna call it the fibroid. Nothing grows fibroids like stress. Okay, we talk about food, we talk about this, we talk about meat, and all of these different. Nobody talks about how stress contributes to. Actually, stress actually is one of the top root causes of fibroids. Stress is actually the top root causes of fibroids. Let's talk about it. Because when you are stressed, your cortisol levels increases. Your cortisol level increases, and that actually causes your progesterone levels to decrease. So when your cortisol levels is continuously high, that causes your progesterone levels to decline significantly, which if you've been following me, you know that causes estrogen dominance. And if if you've been following me, you should know that if you have fibroids, your body's estrogen dominant. So we're not just talking about fibroids, uterine tumors. We're talking about your hormones also being out of balance. So fibroids is not just a uterine problem; it's a full body issue, and it's important for women to know that. A lot of women don't realize that. This is why women are doing these surgeries, because they just focus on the uterus and what's going on, the actual fibroid, not understanding there's a lot of factors going on in the body for your body to even develop a tumor. Your body can't develop a tumor out of nowhere, right? There has to be a backed up digestive system. There has to be lots of toxins and waste in the body. Your elimination pathways have to be blocked or overloaded so that your body can't the way it's supposed to, the way it's actually made to dispel waste. Your hormones have to be out of balance for fibroids to develop. Okay, you have to be, again, keeping lots of toxins in the body. So your lymphatic system also has to be congested in order for fibroids to develop. So fibroids don't just come out of nowhere, contrary to popular belief. Right? They don't just come out of nowhere. They don't just develop out of nowhere. Yes, my estrogen levels were through the roof. I was taking medicine for them, actually. So we never want to take medicine and just target one hormone. If one hormone is out of balance, so are the others. And that's the issue with the medical system. They look at the body as everything being separate instead of looking at it as a whole. And this is why women are never able to really truly heal, because they have women just focusing on one symptom. You can't balance your estrogen levels until you first target your cortisol levels and your insulin. You cannot, I'm telling you, you have to target what caused the estrogen levels to become out of balance. Okay? So I just want to make that very clear. You can't just take medication for one hormone and think that you're going to be healed. That's not how it works. All right? So, hold on. I forgot to put the chat on on YouTube as subscriber only. Let's do that so we don't get any bots. Okay, so it's a complete lifestyle. So it's a complete lifestyle change required. Absolutely. Hi, Christina. Welcome, ladies. Okay, so and make sure that we have all these comments and questions, but we only have 200 likes on TikTok. What's going on? Tap the screen. Okay. Went to my GYN. She said my estrogen levels are too little. So I don't want you guys to focus on one hormone. This is where we lose focus when it comes to fibroids. It's not one hormone. If one hormone is out of balance, so are the others. Your body works together as a whole. It's not separate. So you can't just focus in and on one hormone. This is when you do that, what you're doing is that you're chasing your symptoms. You're not getting to the root cause of the problem. So if we're only doing things to target if we're not doing things to target the root cause, we're just chasing our symptoms. Okay, we're not healing. So I'm all about healing the body. Okay, I'm all about getting to the root cause of the problem. This is why my clients are able to get rid of their fibroids and balance their hormones. So we got to get out of, I just want, and I know that's how the medical system, big pharma, that's how we were taught to heal ourselves. Just focus on the symptoms and not actually focus on the root cause. But that's actually to your own detriment. I blame men. You blame men for what? Okay. We just saying anything. It's not about men, it's about you. And you can't outsource your power. You had I always say this too. And I know some people blame with their relationships or past relationships for fibroids, right? But What version of you was accepting that? All right, so let's talk about it. Stress, you have to, okay, so, okay, you blame it because of stress. You have to be the one to allow men to stress you out. You can't let, right? You allowed that to happen. So there's that. We have to look at ourselves inward. Look inward. Don't deal with men that cause you stress. I know I don't. Look inward, okay? I have high protein count in my urine. I have lupus. So you know what about, thank you for your comment, Miranda. One thing about, and I talk about this if you in a lot of my live streams, but one thing about when we talk about autoimmune disorders, they actually have the same root causes as fibroids, which is estrogen dominance. Okay, so there's that. There's that. So this is why a lot of women who have fibroids, not all, but there's a lot of women who have fibroids who also have autoimmune disorders. So when you're estrogen dominant, which you are if you have fibroids, you don't just, majority of women with fibroids don't just get fibroids. Eventually they can turn to more serious issues. So this is why when there's estrogen dominant cancers, this is why women will have fibroids, and then later on it will be, they'll develop, this is not everybody, but breast cancer, uterine cancer, the women that have these cancers, they've dealt with fibroids or have fibroids before, because they come from the same root cause. And this is why it's so important to get to the root cause of your fibroids and to heal your body and to reverse estrogen dominant, to balance your hormones so that you're not at higher risk for these more serious issues. I hope that makes sense. Okay, I hope that makes sense. Okay. All right. I hear you. I'm more. Okay. So women have to get a hold of their stress. They have to. You have to manage your stress levels. Again, nothing grows fibroids more than stress. It literally, stress actually throws your body completely out of balance. It causes estrogen dominance. Thank you, Mrs. Sweetie, for the gift. Thank you for the gifts. Thank you so much for the gifts. I appreciate that. Stress throws your body out of balance. Your body can't even digest food properly when your body is stressed. And when you're in a perpetual state of stress, when your body's in fight or flight mode, it can't heal like it can't heal like that. It creates tumors. It creates, again, toxins. So stress is very underrated when it comes to what it does to the body. It actually, if you don't get a hold of your stress, it's actually going to cause you a lifetime of health issues. A lot of people are battling health issues due to the amount of stress in their life, right? And we can control it. Adults can control their stress. It's silent, absolutely. That's one of the silent killers, is stress, okay? And it's very underrated. We talk about it, but people don't really, we talk about it all the time, but I don't see a lot of people out there actually actively, reducing their stress levels, okay? So yes, sometimes that's very true. Sometimes you don't realize how much stress you have. That's very true. That's very true. But that's why, and we're going to talk about this too, there has to be a deeper connection with self. A lot of women, especially successful women, they have a lot on their plate, whether it's work-related, family-related, employees or employers. If you have your own business, it's a lot on your plate. And the stress can just accumulate. And there's a lot of people, they actually get used to living in a perpetual state of being stressed out, right? But you have to, when you have that connection within, okay, I'm handling too much. You have to start connecting with your body. You can't allow things to happen and you don't notice that, and you just allow them to, you just sweep them under the rug. A lot of times hey Marquita, welcome. Okay, a lot of times we sweep our stress under the rug without actually acknowledging it until it gets, again, turns to fibroids. It turns to more serious health issues, okay? So I want to make that very clear, okay? Shout out to Marquita. She took one of my courses and her fibroids have shrunk significantly. So I want to shout out to Marquita. But anyway, let's get to the another reason why your fibroids are growing, okay? For those that have had uterine surgeries, listen up. If you've had, and by the way, for those that are just coming in, I'm on YouTube and I'm on TikTok, okay? So if you're on TikTok, they talk about taking away TikTok all the time. Then you want to subscribe to my YouTube channel, okay? Yes, honey, I'm so grateful for your work. Thank you, Marquita. Listen, I'm so grateful for you for actually applying it, for implementing it, and seeing amazing results. So awesome, 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 awesome. Yes. In 2026, we're going to get rid of these fibroids. In 2026, I want to heal as many wombs as possible. We did amazing in 2025. I mean, the work that we did, but in 2026, I want to heal even more women, okay? So when it comes to fibroids, when it comes to, let's talk about one of the reasons why women that have had multiple surgeries, even one fibroid surgery too, or uterine surgery, they grow fibroids. Thank you, Pineapple Crush. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. So if you have fibroids, ladies, if you've had surgery to get rid of fibroids, if you had surgery to get rid of any type of uterine surgery, even a C-section, right? I need you to listen closely. Hold on one second. Okay. There we go. I need you to listen closely because a lot of people don't know what happens after having these surgeries. So if you've had a myomectomy, if you've had any type of surgery that, that cuts into the uterus, right? Whether it's to remove cysts, whatever, whatever surgical procedure that you've had, during surgery, both the lymphatic vessels and the blood vessels are cut. And remember, if you have fibroids, your lymphatic system is already congested. So now, when you go through surgery, we're cutting the lymphatic system and the lymphatic vessels and the blood vessels. Now, blood vessels can repair easily, right? But when it comes to your lymphatic vessels, it's not that simple, right? A lot of times they don't reconnect properly. This is why when women have had that surgery, whether it's a C-section or a myomectomy, they kind of have a flab over the belly that won't go away, right? So that it's not just, it does more harm to the body than we know. This is why a lot of women have scarring, okay? So when you have had these uterine surgeries, this is what they're not going to tell you. The doctors are not going to tell you this. They cause lymphatic congestion. So this is why when women are growing fibroids right after having surgery. So with fluid pools above the scar, creating that puffiness and that bloated feeling, right? Impaired drainage, even from the lower extremities, even from the legs. This is why a lot of women deal with, ankle swelling, or feet swelling. A lot of women that have fibroids or have had fibroid surgery, right? So pelvic congestion as well, which again, you have a series of lymph vessels around the uterus, around the groin area. So a series of lymph nodes, a series of lymph vessels, right? So when you're doing these surgeries, you have to understand that you're cutting these lymph vessels. It's a very important lymph. And this is why we have the bloating, the heaviness, like the lower pudge that won't go away, right? The swelling. So so you have to think about that. You can't, when you're doing these surgeries. And I know that I know with C-section, a lot of times it's emergency, but I'm talking about when you're having these fibroid surgeries, these myomectomies. And I'm not even talking about the uterine scarring that it causes, especially when you have multiple surgeries. A lot of women have had, fibroid surgery to remove fibroids several times because, again, since you didn't get to the root cause of the problem, it just regrows and regrows again. There's women, like I said, I always mentioned this. Earlier last year, is a woman that came to me that had 5 surgeries to remove fibroids, 5 myomectomies. I didn't even think that was legal. She had over the course of about 12 to 13 years, she had surgery, like 5 myomectomy surgeries. And they grew back each and every single time. And then she presently still had fibroids after already having 5 surgeries. And then the doctor was saying that her uterus has so much scarring that and also too, the uterus was not strong enough to more than likely carry a baby to full term because of the amount of uterine surgeries she had had. Now, I can guarantee you the doctors didn't tell her that before. Okay? And you know what? Last week, there was a woman, in Nigeria actually, that passed away due to having that was unalive due to having a myomectomy. Okay, I posted that on my stories. I think her name was Sunshine, which was really sad. My God, today, that's a lot. It took me 6 weeks to recover from my myomectomy. Bless her heart. Yeah, people underestimate. And I know that when women are desperate sometimes, because I think a lot of women, not all, make the decision to have a myomectomy out of desperation because you want relief so bad, right? You're dealing with these fibroids, you're dealing with heavy bleeding. All of these, you're dealing with, all of these symptoms due to fibroids. You're tired of dealing with the fibroids. Not understanding that you can shrink and dissolve the fibroids naturally. You don't have to go the surgical route. You guys do know that, right? And if you've been following me for any length of time, right, you should know we've had clients get rid of 3 fibroids at a time. Like, not just shrink their fibroids, eliminate their fibroids, because they were able to get to the root cause of the problem. Okay, get to the root of the issue. Does fasting help? Yeah, fasting is always helpful, right? Fasting is always helpful. But again, we have to address the root cause of why the fibroid developed, okay? And it's not a bunch of random natural remedies. It's actually addressing why did the fibroid develop in your body? And no, it's not just, it's genetic. That's surface level, okay? So we're talking about it, user 3-4, we're talking about it. I mentioned stress, number 1. But here's the thing, when your lymph vessels are disrupted in one area, for those of you that have had fibroid surgery, they're going to be disrupted in your body works together as a whole. If you understand the lymphatic system, which is so important to healing your body and getting rid of fibroids, right? And also to other more serious health issues. When your lymphatic system is congested, also that causes other, even cancers. Don't get me started with that. The body's actual sewage system, cellular sewage system, okay? So when the lymph vessels are disrupted, when the flow is disrupted, it affects the entire system. Your body is not separate. So you guys your body works together as a whole. Like I was saying earlier, you can't target one area or one hormone and think that you're going to heal your body. That's not how it works. You have to get to the root of why your body became out of balance, why your body developed this fibroid, okay? So I hope that you guys are understanding. So let's talk about it. So it's important that when we talk about the lymphatic system, the connection that it has to fibroids is that when the lymphatic system is congested, your body can't dispel waste properly. When you have fibroids, your body, again, is keeping in waste. Your elimination organs, the liver, the kidneys, the colon, the things that help the body dispel waste are overloaded. They're overloaded with waste. Your hormones are out of balance. Your gut, your digestive system, is backed up when you're dealing with fibroids. So waste and toxins feed fibroids even more, right? So if you had surgery and the fibroids came back, that's one of the reasons why. The lymphatic system is congested, okay? So again, with fibroids, you gotta get to the root cause of the problem. You have to address why your body developed fibroids. And for majority of women, there's a range of things. Your body being in a state of stress, your digestive system being backed up, what you're feeding your body, the inflammation, right? The lack of taking care of yourself. There's a range of things. And sometimes a lot of us have decades, I would say, abused our body for decades, And it may be in ways you may not realize. A lack of sleep, your diet, a consistent diet full of processed foods, okay? It could even be like you were consistently eating a lot of animal products without balancing that out, okay? A good detox by depleting waste. Also, do you feel it's parasites? So you could say it's if you have fibroids, you do have parasites. And when you are getting rid of fibroids, you are getting rid of parasites as well. That's the beauty of it. It's not just about stopping just to eat one food group, y'all. It's deeper than that. But that's good that you stop eating meat. That's a start. But it's not just that. We have to get past the surface level stuff, okay? A lot of us think that a detox or stop eating meat or, castor oil, that's not what gets rid of fibroids, okay? This is why I'm doing this live. And just hold on. We're going to talk about what you have to actually focus on to move the needle, okay? Now, this is another thing too, and this one is a little controversial, but I'm going to say it anyway. A lot of you guys, you know, the real reason why your fibroids aren't shrinking because you have this reliance on doctors and Western medicine. And guess what? Doctors don't get to the root cause of the problem. Doctors don't heal. What doctors do is prescribe medication, right? They come there to diagnose you, right? They prescribe medication. They prescribe whether it's surgeries, medication, birth control. This is what they're trained to do. They're trained to just take care of the symptoms. They're not trained to actually heal you. So when you continuously go into the doctor to look for a fix when it comes to your fibroids, it doesn't really make sense because they're not again, they're not gonna actually address why the fibroid developed. This is why it doesn't make any sense. When people say to me, oh, well, my doctor told me to go through to get surgery, I'm gonna get a second opinion. Are you getting a second opinion from another doctor? Because that doesn't make any sense. It's either one of three things. Surgery, when it comes to the woman's reproductive system, doctors are not trained to heal, right? So it's either one of three things: surgery, birth control, and surgery can include taking out your whole uterus, or medications. They're not there to heal you. So it doesn't make any sense when you guys continuously go, listen, women that have fibroids, they're continuously going to the doctor for hormone testing, for ultrasounds, for testing their blood, for this, for that. And they're expecting answers from their doctors, but they're not, they're gonna give you the same thing, okay? Hey, Marsh, yes, please like and subscribe if you're watching from YouTube. Yes, like and subscribe. Thank you guys for the likes on TikTok. Let's get to 10,000 likes. Why not? Again, I'm saying things that your doctor is not even telling you, okay? Yep, they say all the same thing. Thank you, Marquita. We have to start to realize that. And a lot of people are going to their doctors looking for the doctors to save them. We're trying to do that, but listen, when you're trying to heal your body, they can't save you. I'm sorry. Now, I'm not saying not to go to a doctor at all. I'm not saying that, but when it comes to your womb, your reproductive organs, doctors are trained to view the reproductive organs, your womb, your uterus, as a useless organ. They're literally trained to think that unless you're pregnant. This is why they're telling 20 and 30-year-olds to have a hysterectomy. You have a fibroid, hysterectomy, right? Some of the doctors are going straight to that. So they're not trying to heal you. They're not so you have to ask yourself, why do I keep going back to the doctor and asking them what to do about my fibroids, right? Holistic healing is the best. Yes, I drink a lot of herbal tea for my womb. Holistic healing is the best. Somebody said, hey, Marsh, 12-year-olds have fibroids now. Yeah, you know why? It's getting younger and younger because the moms are not healing. The moms are not healing. So guess what? We're passing down these toxins and these wastes to our children. So if we don't heal ourselves, we pass them. And we can't, if you haven't done anything about your fibroids, how can you help your child? If you haven't done anything to heal your body, to balance your hormones, how can you help your daughters? So they're going to suffer with horrible periods too. And again, they're gonna again suffer with estrogen dominance too. Okay, so it's important that you understand and know that. Somebody asked why mainly women of color have it. So in my practice, I thought this as well. And so stats do show that, but it's not just women of color. As a matter of fact, they're saying that I feel like these stats are skewed, like they need to be updated, but they say that 70% of women will get fibroids before the age of 50. With Black women, it's about 80%. So it's not just Black women getting fibroids. It's other races as well. As somebody I worked with women in Australia, white women, Spanish women, African women, Black women, all over. The only race I have not worked with is European women, is Asian women. Okay, so you're okay. Oh, I'm okay. Okay, where are you located? Wow, where are you located? Where are you located? If you don't mind me asking. Yeah, okay, please sue the doctor. But yes, and I talk about that too. You're in Michigan. Okay. Okay. So it's not just y'all, it's not just Black women. I know. It's being pushed as that, and even doctors are telling women that the reason you have fibroids is because you're Black. I was told that very many years ago when I first was diagnosed with fibroids. Okay, I was told that you have fibroids because you're a Black woman. Another Black doctor told me that, which is absolutely ridiculous. I had an open myomectomy. I had 17 fibroids removed, but it's fibroids that were in my breast turned. Yeah, you didn't finish your comment, but I know what you're gonna say. I know what you're gonna say. You know why? And thank you for your transparency, ladies. When you have fibroids, this is what the doctors are not saying. You're estrogen dominant. You have estrogen receptors, not just in your uterus, also in your breasts. This is why a lot of women that have fibroids have cysts in their breasts, right? So if you can grow a tumor in one area, you can grow a tumor in another area. This is why it's important to get to the root cause of your fibroids and to restore your hormonal balance. So a lot of people are being told fibroids can't turn to cancer. However, you can develop an estrogen dominant cancer. So even though it's less likely for your actual fibroid to turn to cancer, you can develop an estrogen dominant cancer. What does that include? Breast cancer, uterine cancer, ovarian cancer. That's why these cancers are on the rise. Okay? And this is not to scare anybody. But this is to, again, to have you understand the gravity of the situation. Okay? If you talk to a lot of women, this is why, and there are studies to show this. I don't know why doctors are not telling women this. This is what the scary part. Doctors are not telling women this. That's the scary part. When there's so many, and there's one doctor, and shout out to her, and somebody sent this to me. They said that finally one doctor is saying it. If you have uterine issues, and it's not just fibroids, it's also ovarian cysts, it's also PCOS, endometriosis. If you have these issues, these estrogen dominant issues, your risk for estrogen dominant cancers are higher. Not saying that you're going to get them, but I am saying that the risk is higher. You can do your own research on this. Unfortunately, doctors are not taught to heal and to get to the root cause of the problem, so they don't know. Okay? So it's important that you understand. My doctor wanted to give me a hysterectomy for a 4-centimeter fibroid. I didn't go back to her. Thank good. And ladies, here's the thing. I would say this. When it comes to your uterine health, there's not much doctors can do for you. I'm being real. I'm not saying not to go, but I'm saying there's not really, again, because they look at the uterus as a useless organ. Okay? So I want you guys to understand that. Now, when we talk about so you have to be your own first doctor. You have to be your own first healer. Okay? You have to be your own first doctor. You have to be your own first healer. Okay? This is what I teach my clients to do. I don't teach my clients to, I can't jump in my client's body and do the work for them. I can guide them. I can tell them what to do. I can I can also tell them about their root causes and why they develop fibroids. And I can also help them along the way of healing and help them along the process. But I can't actually jump in their bodies and do the work for them. So a lot of us are looking for doctors to save us. They can't say, like, when it comes to fibroids, I'm saying, right? They can't save you when it comes to fibroids. They don't even understand the root causes of fibroids. They're not trained that way. I'm not saying a doctor can't save your life, but yes, they can. But when it comes to fibroids, they can't save you, right? They can cut them out, but they will grow back. They can take out your uterus, but then we still are estrogen dominant and we will just develop another health condition. And that's what happens. You got to get to the root cause of any issue that you have in your life. If you don't nip it in the butt, if you don't get to the root of it, it will be a reoccurring issue in your life. It doesn't just go away. Any issue you have in your life, it will be a reoccurring issue. Okay? Now, I want to say this. Surgery removes the fibroid. It does not remove the cause of the fibroid. Surgery just removes the fibroid. It doesn't remove the cause of the fibroid, right? So this is why the majority of women that have fibroids, that have had myomectomies, that have had their fibroids removed, regrow the fibroid. Because it doesn't remove the conditions that cause the fibroid to grow. Okay? So You can't outsource your health to somebody else. You can't outsource your healing to a doctor. You have to do the work that yourself. Okay? So you have to stop waiting to be saved and start taking ownership of your health, complete ownership of your health. Before I get into the next reason, I want to say this. When we get on TikTok, right, there's so many natural remedies out there when it comes to fibroids. There's this detox, there's this cleanse, there's this herb, there's this supplement. And I want to say this. I'm not like, we have to stop looking at unicorn situation. A lot of women have been doing that. A lot of women have been on that hamster wheel for years. This cleanse, this supplement, this detox, right? For years, and still have the fibroids. Trust me, I know, because they're in my inbox, and still have the issues. We have to stop looking for temporary relief and actually do the real work. We have to start looking for temporary relief, okay? And we have to start looking at situations as well. I want to say that, okay? We got to stop. So I teach actually getting to the root cause of the problem. You can do all the detoxes you want to. If you haven't gotten to the root cause of the problem, the fibroids will come back, or they won't budge at all. They won't budge at all, okay? I want, because I want to, the amount of women that message me, that email me, I've tried, and they will say, I've tried this herb, I've tried this, I've tried that, and it hasn't worked. The natural way doesn't work. And I'm like, but you didn't know that's not, we didn't take care of the full lifestyle change. We just trying this remedy this week, another remedy next week, the following week, and we're looking for like one thing to get rid of the fibroid. And you guys gotta get out of that. We're looking for this quick fix. We can get rid of the fibroid, and you guys have to get out of that. Okay? So we have to, like I said, this is about fully changing your lifestyle. And a lot of people don't want to do that. So they're looking for that one thing to get rid of fibroids, the castor oil, the detox, the this, and still have the fibroids. Okay? So this is a transformation. And not even just physically, also emotionally. Okay? Also emotionally as well. So I want to preface this to say that stop looking for a quick fix or one thing that can get rid of your fibroid. You have to get to the root cause of the problem. Okay? So I want that to be very clear. Now, the next reason, okay, is unresolved trauma. Unresolved emotional trauma. This one is huge. Your body holds trauma. Your womb holds trauma. And I'm not saying that it's because you how can I say this? I'm not saying that it's because you experienced trauma. I'm talking about your body holding on to trauma. There's a difference. We've all experienced trauma. We've all been through traumatic things. But it's about, are you holding on to the trauma? Or are you suppressing the trauma? Your body keeps score, okay? So this is the part nobody talks about. This is the part, again, your doctor's not going to address, but it's very real. The fibroids don't just represent like physical root causes and toxins and waste and stress and all this stuff. They're also emotional toxins as well. Okay, so the trauma that we tend to store in the womb as women, the sexual trauma, relationship trauma, heartbreaks, betrayal, anger, grief, resentment, abortions, miscarriages, anger, okay, for whatever reason, childhood trauma. All of this gets stored in your womb. When it's not processed, when it's not dealt with, it gets stored, okay? And your body remembers what your mind would try to forget. So that's one thing you have to also, so when we're healing the body, we're also processing through our trauma and releasing it. We're not holding on to it. We're not suppressing it. We're processing it. We're doing the work to process through it and release it as well. Okay? So if you don't address the emotional trauma, your body will keep creating new fibroids. It will keep creating new tumors. It will keep creating sickness. If you don't address the emotional root causes of the trauma. So I know that when I was told this years ago, when I did research on this years ago, I was like, I don't have no trauma. I'm fine. Nah, that wasn't the case. you have to, a lot of us, we went through life suppressing things, suppressing everything that we've been through, suppressing everything that affects us. We haven't sat down and really dealt with it, because it's easier to suppress and pretend it didn't happen and to just go through life. We have, especially when you live in a society like today, it's a lot going on, right? We're moving and shaking constantly. We got work, we got this, we got responsibilities, we have bills. So it's not a lot of time to sit there and actually reflect, but you have to have that inner connection with self. And the beauty about a womb healing journey, is that you're not just healing your womb, you're also healing yourself. It's also a return back to self, in a sense, right? All of the things that we've ignored, we've neglected, right? Parts of yourself, inner parts of yourself that you've ignored, that you've neglected, that you've bypassed, you get to actually deal with it, right? And it causes you to grow on so many different levels, not just physically, like emotionally, energetically. So we're not just, again, physical beings, we're energy beings. Okay, so it's a lot deeper than just, what can I do? What can I get? It's also to the emotional work, the inner work that has to be done as well. This is what I work with my clients on as well. We bridge the physical and the emotional, because they're connected. They're connected, okay? They're connected. Your body works together, like I always say, as a whole. Nothing is separate. So if we have fibroids, what else are we? There's emotional toxins and waste that we're holding on to, right? We're holding on to. You may be aware of it or not. You may have suppressed it or not. And sometimes it's ancestral. Okay, as well. So there's that. They're not just supposed to. So you can eat perfectly. You can take every supplement. You can do every detox. But if the emotional root causes are still alive and well, your body will keep manifesting the problem. This is why women will come to me and say that this is the third time that they've developed fibroids, right? And I would think, and I'm saying this as somebody that's developed fibroids not once but twice. Oh, and has been fibroid free for over 10 years, thank goodness, right? And that's not by luck. That's by me continuously doing the work. That's not by luck. That's on me completely transforming my lifestyle, completely. I am not the same person that I was when I had fibroids. Completely different. Completely. Okay, so that's important to note. And a lot of people, I'm not saying everybody, but a lot of people don't want to really do that real work. They just want, again, to find one thing. No, you will put yourself in a trap by doing that. You have to address the root causes. You have to change your lifestyle. You have to. Or you will continuously be in a state of, sickness. This is why women are dealing with perimenopause is slapping them in the face, and they think it's, because I'm a certain age. No. Perimenopause have nothing to do with your age. It's what it is really is hormonal imbalance, and women are having perimenopause symptoms in their 20s now. It's literally hormonal imbalance, toxin overload. And once you actually address that, there is no perimenopausal symptoms. But we associate bad health with age. It has nothing to do with each other. Bad health is bad health. And accumulated decades of bad health, of not taking care of yourself. Of course, you're going to deal with 10 years of hell before menopause. Of course. Okay, so, hey. Hey, Mo. Welcome. Thank you so much. Happy New Year. I hope that you're doing amazing. Also, too, there's a lack of women that have fibroids. There's a lack of connection to the womb. And I want to say this real quick, and I'm excited to also announce for those of you, I know some of you guys are new, some of you guys are returning. Hey, and welcome. Before we get into the next point of why your fibroids are not shrinking, we do have our 6-week program starting tomorrow that I'm so excited about, okay? And we still have a couple of spots open for women that want to work with me for 6 weeks, that want to heal their body, that want to get to the root cause of their fibroids, that want to restore their hormonal balance, and that want to be fibroid free in 2026, okay? So if that's you, and it's not just fibroids, that also have women that have endometriosis, PCOS, but if you're dealing with these issues, fibroids especially, okay? And you actually want to address the root cause, you want to do the work to heal your body to be fibroid free, be sure that you check out our 6-week womb healing experience. We're starting tomorrow, and I'm so excited. And the women that have joined are also excited. So we're getting started this week on the Zoom calls. So if you're ready to truly heal, it's time. If you're watching from YouTube, the link is in my description box. If you're watching from TikTok, the link is in my bio on the 6-week womb healing experience. So another reason why your fibroids are not shrinking is the lack of connection, right? When was the last time you connected with your womb? When was the last time? Majority of women, especially successful, when I talk about women, I'm talking about like women that are successful. There's a disconnect from that feminine energy. There's a disconnect because we're, women are in hustle mode, grind mode, right? And they have to fend for themselves in this society, right? Which is all well and good. And I'm all about being, reaching the heights of your career, climbing the corporate ladder, going hard in your business. I'm all about that. However, what comes first is you and your health. That comes first. So a lot of people are putting all of this stuff like climbing the heights of their career, climbing the heights of, the corporate ladder and their business. They put that before themselves, their health. They will push their health on the back burner. They will, sweep their health under the rug and, having to take care of themselves. And they will put everything else before themselves. That's a huge issue. Okay, a huge issue. A lot of women are ignoring their menstrual cycles until it actually comes, but you don't understand that your body, you have a 28-day cycle. As a woman, you have a 28-day menstrual cycle, and you have 4 different phases. Are you syncing your lifestyle to those phases? Do you understand the hormonal shifts that your body is doing in those 28 days? A lot of women don't. They don't understand their bodies. They don't understand their menstrual cycles. They don't even know when they're ovulating. A lot of women hate their periods. They hate their wombs. They don't understand the sacredness of their womb and how their womb is literally a portal, a creative portal, right? That's the issue. You resent your wombs for developing the fibroids, for causing you pain, not understanding there's root causes of why that happened. And you're of the fibroids to get your attention. Your womb is bleeding out, right? To get your attention. Women that have heavy periods, your womb is in pain and contracting to get your attention. It can't hold the level of waste in your body. It's trying to get your attention, but you're blaming your womb. This is why it's so easy to get women to remove their uterus, because they look at the uterus as the problem, not knowing that the problem lays in the body, lays in you. You're the problem. The way you've been living your life is the problem, but you're blaming the uterus. Okay, so there has to be that connection. And when women have this hate for their wombs, there's a disconnect from not only their wombs, but also the feminine, your feminine being. You can't hate your womb. And yes, listen, Candace, whoo, it's anti-woman. I'm sorry. And a lot of people are gonna feel offended by this, but I gotta be honest with you. A hysterectomy is anti-woman, and pushing women to do hysterectomies is anti-woman. And I wish more women, especially these feminists out here, will understand that. That is anti-woman. How do you understand the beauty and the sacredness of a woman if you're, pushing women to get a hysterectomy? That it's a no. Instead of pushing women to heal. Your womb, the reason why it's developing the fibroid, the reason why it's heavily bleeding, is trying to get your attention, right? It's trying to get your attention. As a matter of fact, your womb is the strongest organ in your body. Y'all have to stop. I don't care if you don't want to have children. Stop removing it. It's there for a reason. You were created with a womb for a reason. It's a gift, really. The womb is a gift. It's a beautiful gift and a blessing. Because you don't just birth babies there. You birth creations. You've birthed visions. You birth projects from the womb on an energetic level. It's deeper than just, birthing babies. I know some people don't want to have children, right? That's totally fine. But you also birth, visions, projects. Like you birth much more than just children. I'm not saying that children are not important, but I'm just saying you birth more than just children. Okay? So healing your womb is also a reconnection to self. It's also a reconnection to you as well. Okay? It's a reconnection to self. You can't heal something that you hate. Let me make this very clear. For those of you that hate your wombs, blaming your wombs, you can't heal something that you hate. You can't. You can't heal something that you ignore. You can't heal something that you bypass. You can't heal something that you don't appreciate. Okay? You can't. Part of this journey is learning to love your womb, is learning to love yourself. Your womanhood is honoring the sacredness of your womb. That's womb healing. It's not just about getting rid of fibroids. It's a lot deeper than just getting rid of fibroids. It's healing the sacredness of, it's realizing and appreciating the sacredness of your womb, of your feminine being, right? So it's deeper than just, again, getting rid of fibroids, just to feel a little bit better. No. We're healing on a cellular level. Okay? Yep, I don't get menstrual cramps unless I do too much. Listen, this is why you have to understand your hormonal shifts. When you are dealing with when you're menstruating, you're not we're not supposed to do too much because our hormone levels are at their lowest. It's a time to rest, really, and it's a time to pour into yourself, to release. You're not supposed to be out here trying to be superwoman when you're bleeding. And like I said, a lot of, again, successful women tend to be, how can I say this? Disassociated from their feminine energy. There tends to be a disassociation of that, and you have to get back centered. And you can still do this while, again, having a full life, be successful. You just have to prioritize things differently. Okay. So I'm not trying to tell you to be a monk and just be in the house and not do anything. No. You can still live a regular, normal lifestyle. You can still do your tasks and your responsibilities, but you have to start prioritizing things differently. You got to start putting yourself first. Okay, a lot of people, for a lot of women, that sounds good, but they're not actually doing it. Everything is before, they put everything before themselves and their health. I ran a 5K during, I'm assuming, your period, and I almost went to the ER. Yeah, that'll do it. That will do it. That will do it for sure. Okay, I'm happy that you're okay. But you guys stop trying to be superwoman when you're on your period, or even before your period as well. Again, when the hormone, that's your winter time. That's your time to take it down a notch. Okay? So let's talk about what it actually does to shrink your fibroids, to move the needle when it comes to shrinking your fibroids. Number one, and this is the first thing that you need to work on, is regulating your nervous system. Getting your body out of survival mode. Being in survival mode is not only just about money, right? If you are always stressed out, you are always putting yourself last. You're always overthinking, overanalyzing. Your mind is always, you're never just at peace. You're in survival mode. You're always in fight or flight mode. Your body cannot heal like that. That's the first thing. I'm like, we have to regulate our nervous system so that your body can have an opportunity to heal. Your body cannot heal in chaos. It can't heal when your nervous system is dysregulated. It can't. Right? Okay. Also, this is what I do with my clients. You have to support the lymphatic system. That is your body's cellular sewage system. That's how your body removes waste. And when you have fibroids, your body is keeping waste in. Your elimination organs are congested. So not only do you have to support the lymphatic system, you have to support those elimination organs, the liver, the kidneys, the colon, digestive system, they need extra support, okay? Because they're overloaded. They're not working efficiently. Because if they were working efficiently, we wouldn't have the fibroids. The fibroids cannot develop. Fibroids can't develop in a healthy body. They can't. They cannot develop in a healthy body, okay? You also, too, have to stop waiting on a doctor to fix you. Like I said earlier, the only thing that they can do when you come to them with fibroids is one of three things: surgery, medication, or birth control. None of that heals you. None of that addresses the root cause of the issue. All of that puts you on this perpetual state of chasing your symptoms. We have to get out of that. And we have to actually take steps towards healing, right? When you have fibroids, your body's engine light is on. Your body's engine light is on. So you can't, like I said, you can't just bypass and then just go straight to surgery. This is why women will have repeated surgeries. Because again, they're not addressing the root cause, okay? I've been bleeding every day for 2 years between cycles, only 1.7 centimeter posterior. That'll do it. That even one fibroid can cause that, unfortunately. And we have to reverse your estrogen. We have to rebalance your hormones. Okay, so you can send me a message if you want to, Nicole. I had another client that was bleeding. This is years ago, like 2021. She didn't have fibroids, but she had a cyst, an ovarian cyst. Okay, she was bleeding. She was bleeding for 2 years, and she started in the pandemic. And she went to several different doctors. All they did was give her all types of birth control. One doctor would give her one type of birth control, the next doctor another type of birth control. Nobody addressed the root cause. Okay, literally, she started working with me. By this is somebody that was bleeding every single day for 3 years. By week 3, I would say week 3 or 4, the bleeding stopped. It ceased. The bleeding ceased. The first thing we did, number one, is get all the birth control and get this. She had an IUD inside of her. We got that out. By week 3, the bleeding ceased. She felt, this is somebody that barely had any energy because of the bleeding. She was able to feel so much more energy. You know, she was able to get her iron levels up, heal her anemia as well, eventually able to dissolve the cyst and have normal periods again. We actually healed her on a cellular. We actually got to the root cause of the problem. You have endometrioma too. Okay, so you have endometriosis as well. Okay. So it's important. You can't just skip that part. You gotta and she was like, I'm willing to do whatever. She didn't argue back. I'm willing, and I genuinely have amazing clients that don't. But she was like, at the point where, and I hate to say use the term desperate, but she was. So, yeah, you have to, don't listen. If you're bleeding, I know that's a very difficult situation to be in when you're bleeding every single day, but do not take the medications and the birth control. That will on the back end make things worse. You have to get to the root cause of the problem, okay? And for those, again, that are watching, I do have my 6-week program, again, my 6-week womb healing experience. We start tomorrow. This is the special hormone healing round, okay? The special hormone and womb restoration round starts tomorrow. We're going for 6 weeks. 6 entire weeks, all the way up until March 2nd. I'm helping women heal their wombs completely in 6 weeks. Restore their hormonal balance, start shrinking and dissolving those fibroids, get into the root cause of the problem. You'll have me for 6 weeks. Okay, we've already had women join, and I'm super excited. They're excited. I'm excited. Okay, if you want to join, the link is in my bio. Okay, the link is in my bio. Makes me think of the woman with the issue of the blood who went to all the doctors and they could not heal her. Is that Marquita? That you talk about the woman in the Bible? Because I forget her name, but I remember when one of the women, and that's not the only client that I've had that's had continuous bleeding. Okay, that's not the only woman. There's other women that I've had that, you know, they maybe bled for 6 months, but she was the longest. Like, I couldn't believe that nobody could do anything for her for 2 years. She was like, you're literally heaven sent. And she told me that her condition, she would think about the woman in the Bible. Like, she was young too. She was like in her early 30s. She was like, I can't date. I can't, because how am I going to explain this? So she felt as though her life was, because of this issue. And it's not just her, a lot of women. She felt as though her life was being held up. And it's sad. A lot of women, and I was there before as well, allow these womb issues to take over their lives. Because they don't just affect you physically, they also affect you emotionally. You also feel as though you're less than a woman which you're not, but it can feel as though you are, right? I'm worried mine like endometrial cancer or something. Nicole, if you want to send me a message, send me a message. But confirm that first, okay? Hopefully it's not, but you may need to check out my Detoxify Your Womb program, which is more of a one-on-one program, which is more for women that have more serious uterine issues, okay? So I want to, yeah, check out, or you could do this so by clicking the link in my bio. Yeah, we have to, and you're welcome, you have to also too, and I'm going to say this, I know I've been on here for an hour, but let me say this. You have to stop looking for random remedies. There will always be somebody that says, I did this detox and you have to start looking at unicorn situations and stop getting distracted. I did this detox and my fibroids, went away. There's always going to be that stuff on the internet. This is how you guys get stuck. And you're looking for the next detox. You're looking for the next supplement. You're looking for the next castor oil. Instead of actually following a system, a framework, a structured framework that deeply targets the root causes, that targets your hormones, that targets your elimination organs, that floods your body with nutrients. So you bypass doing the real work and just look for what remedy, what pill, what supplement can heal you. You'll fall into a trap by continuously doing that. I know that this is TikTok and YouTube. There's a million things out there. People will say this heals fibroids, that heals fibroids. And the reason why I'm not that popular, because I'm like, no, you can't look at just one thing to get rid of fibroids. You got to get to the root cause of the problem. You have to be ready to completely transform your lifestyle to really get rid of fibroids and the root causes of fibroids. This is why my clients don't regrow their fibroids back after getting rid of them, because we get to the root cause. We address what created the fibroids. We don't just do a cleanse or detox. Like, come on. Okay? Some of you guys have been doing that for years and still got the fibroids. Okay? So you have to focus on actually getting to the root cause. You can't skip the real work. Okay? And the emotional and the physical root cause. So I want to say all that to say, I've been on here. And if you're watching me from YouTube, from YouTube or on how do I join your 6-week program? So the link is in my bio. For more information on the 6-week womb healing experience, the link is in my bio. Okay, we start tomorrow. Let's go. We had I don't know if Marquita's still in here. We had Marquita. She significantly shrunk her fibroid. Significantly. We had the pictures to prove it. And that picture was like 3 weeks apart, where her uterus was almost like the size of the 8 to 9 month pregnancy. And now her stomach, it drastically reduced within like 3 weeks. I call that a fibroid belly, where the fibroid is causing like, it's pushing at your abdominal, right? And that typically is because of the uterine, the enlargement of the uterus. So if you guys are interested in the 6-week program, again, we start tomorrow. Okay. The link is in my bio. If you're watching from YouTube, the link is in my description box if you want to join the 6-week womb healing experience. And if you are watching on YouTube, you want to start, the link is in my bio. Let's go. Let's go. The link is in my bio to join. Okay, there is a cost. So go read more about it. And it's life-changing, because it's not just 6 weeks. It's also I'm teaching you how to live your lifestyle in a way that's going to heal your body. It has lifetime value. These are things that you not only learn, you can also share with people in your circle, your children, right? So we had a client in the 6-week program, again, had very large fibroids. And we had her picture, the picture in the video, her testimonial to prove it. She had, again, her fibroid her uterus was so enlarged that it looked like an 8 to 9 month pregnancy. And it significantly, drastically went down within a month of being in the 6-week program. Okay. So we've had so many testimonials. It's just, yeah, so many. If you want to see more about the testimonials, be sure to go to the pinned post on TikTok. And I also have a section where if you click on it, it will show you more about client testimonials. And if you're watching from YouTube, scroll down our community tab. Scroll, you're going to see a whole bunch of testimonials. All right. That's pretty much it. Again, also too, if you're watching, join our email list. The link is in my bio. To subscribe to our email list, I put out so much. When you subscribe to our email list, you get 7 days of fibroid healing truths. For those of you that are asking what's the root cause, subscribe to the email list. It literally breaks it down for you, okay, when you do so, okay? Also, if you want to subscribe to our email list, if you're watching from YouTube, the link is in my description box. Subscribe to Sacred Womb Letters as well, okay? And if you want more deeps, if you want to get to the, like, talk about more so the emotional root causes and the spiritual root causes of fibroids, subscribe to the Sacred Womb Letters. And that's all I got for y'all today, okay? Hope that you guys have, it's a 3-day weekend for some of y'all. Not for me, but some of you guys, it's a three-day weekend for you guys. So I hope that you enjoy your day off. If you have a question about one of my services working with me, send me a message on on TikTok, or send me an email, okay? All right, you guys have a beautiful rest of your day. I'll talk to you soon. Bye, everybody. Bye, YouTube.